Hello, everybody. So I've sent the link over to Tom, so hopefully we get him in a couple of minutes. Hello.
Hey, mate. All right.
You all right, mate? How's it going?
Yeah, good, mate. Good.
Good, good. Thank you very much for joining me. No, it must be quite a week for you, obviously. I know I think you're flying out tomorrow, is it?
Yeah, tomorrow morning. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Busy day. Had a busy
busy.
day.
Not surprised. Well,
Still
let's say,
not,
yeah,
still not, still not finished. Still loads to do.
typical man.
Yeah.
I'd be exactly the same, don't worry. So yeah, I'd say thank you for joining me. So for those who are just joining, obviously joined by Tom Crosby, who will be making his promotional debut on Oktagon this weekend in Germany, facing Miroslav Broz. Um, so first and foremost, Tom, what I'd like to start with, nice and simple, is just how did your MMA career start? How did you get started?
Well, I got started off being a back of being a fan of the Ultimate Fighter. Um, I was playing rugby at the time, and I was watching that, and I thought I'll give this a go as extra fitness. And then yeah, like over time, I swapped sports completely. I tried both for a little bit. And then yeah, I retired from rugby and just took up fighting, and that was like early 2013. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so obviously, I mean, being from Leeds, massive rugby city, isn't it? So, was it always, did you have to choose between rugby and football as a kid, or have you got a love for both?
I was never really a big football fan. Like growing up, like a bit of a geeky kid and that, and like sports. I didn't really become any good at sport until a little bit older. Um, but yeah, I was always like a fan of rugby league, and then it was like my teenage years when I really got into it
Yeah.
with the rugby.
So looking at your career earlier today, and I noticed obviously your amateur career, you were able to compete in the European IMAFs and the World
Yeah.
IMAFs. Obviously, you managed getting to fly out to Bulgaria and Vegas for them. What were those experiences like for you? Obviously, you hadn't, you were still fairly early in your career, I suppose, at the time.
Yeah, well, as soon as I seen the post back in the day, like we were bringing like IMF World Championships, I made that my goal. I want to represent my country in the sport of MMA. And then I think first trial, I missed. I couldn't attend to it, and they picked the squad based on that first trial.
Right.
Um, so then I got the opportunity again. I trialed and I managed to get in. And yeah, to go and compete in Vegas, that was just unreal. Especially as I'd only been in the sport what 3 years at the time. Yeah, competing in Vegas, getting 2 good wins under my belt, and then at that specific comp, the third fight that I had in the quarterfinals, I lost the decision to the guy. He went on and got silver. However, he tested positive for like having illegal amount of testosterone in his system 4 times over.
Mm.
So I was gutted when I found out because obviously there I've been cheated out of a chance of a medal. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Take him out of the equation. What they should have done is bumped everybody up, and then yeah, I was should have been due at least a bronze.
yeah,
But I appealed and my appeal failed, and they just kept it as a no contest. That's the Vegas one anyway.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, like I competed in Prague, Czech Republic. That was great again. Getting a couple of fights under my belt, fighting 3 times in 3 days. Lost the decision to the eventual winner there in Rostem Akman. Yeah, would have beast. He went on to UFC, fighting the UFC,
yeah,
and then I lost. And then I got a chance again. Went to Sofia, Bulgaria, and unfortunately I lost my first fight by a split decision. So the now Cage Warriors champion. Yeah, so again, like really good experience, getting that XP under my belt, especially as an amateur, and fighting quite often as well, like 3 fights in 3 days, a couple of times. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, and to be
I loved
fighting,
it. Um,
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be fighting, some of the people you were fighting as an amateur is and what they've gone on to achieve now. I mean, I think that obviously says a lot about you as well. That you're losing to current Cage Warriors champions on split decisions and things like that. So, I know as an amateur, it's all about getting the experience in and just getting time fighting and things like that. But it must you look at where some of these fighters are now, and must be nice for you to look at them and go, I'm as good as these guys, or I'm better than these guys.
yeah, yeah, that's it. I'm as good as these guys. I just need that opportunity to showcase it, and now I've got that opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. So you mentioned there, obviously you fought in other countries before. I believe most recently was Sweden back in 2021. Um,
Yeah.
do you are you a fan of the going overseas for a fight, or do you prefer the home shows?
I like it all. Do you know what I mean? Like if I get the opportunity to go abroad and have a crack and have a bash, I'll go for it. And it just all depends what falls on the table. Like like the Sweden fight, we're only a couple of weeks' notice. I thought, yeah, let's do it, let's go. It's an opportunity to take, and
Yeah,
I took it. Unfortunately, I came out with a loss, but again, it's a great experience.
yeah,
It
yeah,
only just makes me better as a fighter.
yeah, absolutely. Um, Last year you went all year without a fight. You had a fight cancelled in December, I think it
Yeah.
was. How tough of a year was 2023 for you in that sense?
Yeah, like coming from that rugby league background, I like to compete
Mm,
every weekend as much as I can. But yeah, last year I was recovering from surgery that I had the previous year,
yeah,
which were a long supraspinatus in my shoulder. That was a long recovery. Um, yeah, so I had obviously a lot of rehab on that, and then when I did get permission from a surgeon to compete. I had fights lined up, and it just never happened. So I just had to compete in the grappling and stay busy on the grappling team
yeah.
before something arose.
Would would they kind of a bit of a would they use to keep yourself sharp? I know you've got Valhalla coming up on the 17th as well, haven't you?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
are they good for you to keep sharp and just keep your skills and just maintain everything essentially?
yeah. Just to keep me on straight and narrow because I can eat. You know what I mean? I can eat quite a bit, so it just keeps me in shape, keeps me in check. I've got that goals and targets to aim for. So
Yeah,
yeah, I've got that Valhalla the week after I get back, and then all being well, I've got Grapple Fest as well, beginning of March. And then if I go unscathed, you know what I mean, I want to be competing again on Oktagon for when we come to Birmingham. That's
yeah,
the plan,
yeah.
that's the goal. I'd like that.
Yeah, I mean they're putting a big focus on the UK this year. The teams aren't they? Obviously they had the Manchester card the back end of last year, and then obviously they've just had the Newcastle one as well, and then yeah,
Mm.
Birmingham coming up. So how? how important is it, do you think, for like a company, a promotion as big as Oktagon to be putting a focus on like regional fighters and things like that?
Oh, I think it's great. You know what I mean? Like you see it, the signing all the UK talent, up and coming talent coming through. You know, and that's just going to push other fighters to want to compete. And I think it's really good what they're doing. And then like the promotional wise, what they do for the fighters, getting their names out there, and then the show itself as well. When I watched the Manchester card on telly, I thought it was great. You know, I thought,
Mm,
yeah, let's be a part of that. And then I got the opportunity, so I jumped at it.
yeah. Um, One promotion that you fought under quite a lot, so far is Cage Steel, um,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually the first time. So we seen you on, I think it was Cage Steel 26 back in 2021. We were at that event, and we that was the first time we come across yourself. You look at some of the fighters that was on that card just on its own. You know, yourself, you had Amari Diedrich, you had Staff Swainson, you know, a lot of lads who were doing amazing work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was it like as an organisation to fight for? Like, I noticed on the night, one thing that really I remember, you had a really vocal, really supportive crowd for you on that night.
Yeah, so like I'm from Leeds, so I did like to compete on that show because it's quite local,
Mm,
and I can get quite a few followers to come. But when I fought, obviously here, there, and everywhere, it's hard for everybody to commit. So that's why I liked competing on that show, just because I got the crowd and the support behind me. You
yeah,
know, and I think it might have been the summertime show. It's the first time my daughters came and watched me live as well. You know, so it was good for them to be able to come and watch me.
yeah. What
Just just
what's that
just
like
because
for
it
you?
was local.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's they're so important, shows like that, aren't they?
Mhm.
What's that like for you, being able to, like, have your daughter there watching you compete? Does that give you like an extra incentive at all, or is that just like the
Oh
best thing for you?
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's great feeling to have them there. You know, family, friends, my wife as well. Um, just coming to Germany to support as well, which is good. But yeah, when my daughters were there, the first time they got to see me like live, yeah, just spurred me on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Really, really good.
yeah, absolutely. So you've just come back from Thailand, obviously training out in
Yeah,
Bangkok,
yeah.
in preparation for the fight. How was your time out there? It looked like on the post you did put up, looked like you were having the time of your life.
Oh, it was great. You know, it was absolutely fantastic. 2 weeks hard training. You know, no work, no other commitments. You know, no responsibilities. Just got to concentrate on my training, eating healthy, a little bit of sunshine, eat again, train again. You know,
Yeah, can't
yeah, it
imagine
was
there's
it
too
was
many
it
better
was
places
fantastic.
to enjoy your downtime, are there?
Oh, I know, and the timing, what it was, one of the lads from ABT dropped out last minute, and there was a spot available, and you know, I spoke to my family and stuff like that, and yeah, as I said, I'd be stupid not to go, so I jumped at the opportunity to go, um, and like I said, I had time of my life, and you know, like the last 2 weeks of camp, you know, we put a lot of hours in training, you know, so
Yeah.
yeah, really, really good.
Was that your first time going out there, was it?
So I've been to Thailand before, but I was a complete novice.
Right.
I just got into it and had a little dabble. I'd probably done a couple of weeks training, and I went to Tiger Muay Thai for 3 weeks, and then from there I just stopped for the year because I went to Australia to play rugby.
Right.
Um, so this time round, I think I got a lot more from it because I kind of know what I'm doing now. Where before I didn't have a clue.
Yeah. Obviously, I know Thailand have just sort of brought this sort of visa out for fighters in particular, haven't they, to get like
Yeah, yeah.
a 90-day visa to go and train over there. Is that something you're hoping to be able to take advantage of in the future?
You know what? I don't think I'd be able to do that long. I have got quite a lot of responsibilities back home with the family, the kids, and then the business as well. Because I'm in charge of the youth squad at AVT.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it'd be a big ask that to be able to disappear for that long a time.
Yeah.
But like, you know, definitely would like to do it again. You know, maybe like 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Four
yeah,
weeks could be doable depending on time of the year. It all depends on on the timing. If I could get like maybe a fight booked for say like September, because I don't work school holidays, because I do childminder as well, so I don't do school holidays. And then at the gym itself, the kids it's dead quiet, so that
right.
would be a good time to go for me, like just to concentrate on the training. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I don't think I get the opportunity to do a big long camp like that.
No, suppose
No.
not. But I mean, it's good that the option's always there. If you know,
It's good for the younger fighters up and coming.
yeah,
It's a fantastic opportunity, and I'd recommend it. If they ain't got responsibilities, get your sent off.
yeah. So, as we mentioned, obviously you fly out tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
How much are you looking forward to just sort of getting over there and getting the final preparations
yeah, that's it. So it's just the last little bit of weight now. Um, Last little bit of packing.
in?
Last little bit of weight. Get there, and then like I've got quite an early flight. Get there early because I like to get there, get my bearings, know where everything is, and that get my thing organised. And then I can focus, get my head in the game, and visualize and things like that.
Yeah,
So yeah, just want to get over there now.
yeah. So we mentioned Octagon and what they're doing and sort of the size of the promotion. It's the biggest promotion that you've been on so far. Do you feel like this is your biggest fight to date?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and you know what I mean, to be signed to, it's an honour really. To be signed to such a good promotion, and I think the way it's going, it's going to get even bigger and bigger.
Mm.
So I've got that free fight contract with them, and yeah, I'm gonna take every opportunity I can, and yeah, hopefully start climbing that rankings and go from there.
Yeah, yeah. It's looking really good for Octagon at the moment, and I think they're not just. I think they're trying to be different than a lot of other promotions. They're not just, obviously it's great that they're putting so many cards on, but obviously they've got like the Game Changer series. They had the UK versus Ireland series the back end of last
Yeah,
year. So they're doing a lot of things that, other promotions aren't, and I think that's setting them apart and they're only going to get
that's it.
bigger. Certainly in the UK, I know they're big in sort of like your Slovenia, your Czech Republic, your Slovakias and things like that. But over here, they were
Yeah.
kind of a bit of a unknown entity unless you were really involved in the
Mhm.
sport.
Yeah, I think a few more signings than that. If they can get a few more AVT guys, Leeds, they should go to First Direct Arena. That'd be a dream. That'd be a
Yeah,
dream to fight there. First
yeah.
Direct Arena in Leeds.
So, I mean, with the way that they're doing the UK at the moment, it's every possibility that they will do it, to be honest. So,
Yeah,
and AVT can be front and center of that. So, ears open. Let's hope it does happen.
yeah.
What do you make of your opponent? Obviously, as I mentioned, you're fighting Miroslav Broz. Have you managed to take much of him in?
Yeah, I've done a bit of studying. I've noticed he's got like that similar style to me, the grinding style. He's quite wild with his shots. Again, I think I'm a little bit more technical. Um, yeah, so I've done my studying and I'm prepared to go to war. I think it could be stylistically, it could be fight of the night. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're just gonna, well, yeah, war, got war.
Um, so just what I'd like to get people to do as well is just give a couple of shout outs. So if you want to give shout outs to your coaches and training partners at AVT.
Yeah, that's it. All the lads at AVT, me Ed Honcho, Danny Mitchell, Jay Furnace as well as a big coach. Training partners, too many to name. And I'm a good giving me sponsors a shout out because I've got quite a few that jumped on board. So I've got a little list here in case I forgot
You've read me mind. That was my next little thing to
them.
ask
Oh
you.
yeah, brilliant. So yeah, big thank you to all my sponsors. Like Thailand wouldn't have been possible. Like these jumping on board and stuff like that. So CHP Actuation, Middleton Precast, the local company, Leeds Emergency Roofing Services. I've got Dampier Sells Homes, the Morley branch, quite local to AVT. Leeds Electrical Limited, uh, yeah, Excess Guard. They're always looking after my gums since they've been there for me since day one. And then I've got to give a shout to my mum's company, Crosby's Little Angels. And then Hard Life, they sort out my gear, my training gear, and rash guards and things like that. So yeah,
Yeah,
big shout to all of them. You know, massively appreciated supporting me on this journey.
yeah. No, without, like you say, without them, you can't do what you're doing, can you? Then I will tag them all in the post on Instagram as well, if whatever ones are on Instagram. I know not every
Yeah,
company is,
wicked.
but as many of them are on there, I will tag them as well. So finally, then Tom, before I let you go, fans who might be seeing you for the first time on Saturday, may not come across you before. What can they expect once that cage door closes?
That's it. Like I've just mentioned before, it's going to be a war, and I think it's going to be fight of the night. That's my prediction. There's my bet. If I've got money, put the bet on fight of the night. There we go.
Love it. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out, Tom. As I say, I know busy with flying out tomorrow, so I really appreciate you taking the time to have a chat with me.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Anytime, mate. Well, best of luck. I will be tuning in on Saturday and rooting for you, and hopefully you come away with the W.
Right, wicked. Yeah, that's the
Right.
plan. Let's go.
Take it easy, mate.
Take care.